One of the worst things you can have on your credit report is a collection, okay? And right now, with over 70 million people having a collection on their credit report, in this video, I'm going to go ahead and share with you three strategies on how to actually deal with the collection. Either pay it, settle it, or ignore it. And then guess what? There's advantages and disadvantages to each one. And in this video, we're going to go ahead and break down for each one of these three. So you definitely want to stay tuned throughout the entire video.
This conversation about building up your blueprint. It's time to take it, cause time is wasted. Go grind and chase it, don't lose it. This generation need integration with information to move with. An inclination that is abiding in entertaining improvement.
Hey, what's going on, Blueprint Nation? Welcome to another dope video of the Respect My Blueprint show, where we give you the blueprint on how to level up on entrepreneurship, personal finance, credit, as well as funding as well too. All right. Now, in this video, we are going to talk about how to deal with a collection, whether you should pay a collection, delete a collection, or ignore it. Since collections are one of the most detrimental things that you can have on your credit report, I think it's very important that I share with everybody how to deal with the collection, because the laws are always changing. And listen, one of the worst things you can have on your credit report is a collection, because guess what? It could stay on your credit report for up to 7 years. Okay. But guess what? We are going to go ahead and talk about how to actually deal with the collection and what's the right way. Okay. Now, first things first, is very important that we understand what a collection is. Okay. Now, a collection is typically when a creditor receives non-payment from an account, whether it's a credit card, a loan, or a medical bill. For a certain amount of time, there's non-payment on the account, typically anywhere from 90 to 100 days, and that creditor ends up selling the debt to a third-party debt collection company. Now, when that happens, this ends up becoming a derogatory mark on your credit report, and it ends up being reported by the third-party debt collection company. Now, typically what's going to happen is the third-party debt collection company is going to attempt to collect the debt, and guess what? It can stay on your credit report for up to 7 years and drop your credit score over 100 points. So you definitely want to do anything possible to avoid a collection, but I understand there are times where we fall on hard times and we just end up not making a payment over a few months, and then the account ends up turning into a collection. And guess what? We just don't know how to deal with it. In this video, I'm going to share with you the 3 ways and the 3 strategies on how you can deal with the collection. All right. Now, the first thing you can do is either pay the collection. All right. Now, this is the least popular option right here, and I strongly don't recommend anybody paying for a collection, because ultimately it still ends up reporting negatively on your credit report. All right. Having a collection, whether it's an unpaid or a paid collection, has the same detrimental effect. I never recommend anyone to pay a collection that's reporting on the credit report, or from a debt collection company that's attempting to collect it. Now, there are only 2 examples or 2 ways that I would recommend you paying for collection. Number one is if you're attempting to purchase a home. Typically, mortgage lenders are going to want you to go ahead and remove any derogatory marks, such as a collection, off of your credit report. Or if you're trying to secure funding, okay, which again, if you're looking for personal or business funding, lenders typically see a collection as a red flag, and that can automatically deny you when you're trying to seek funding, okay? But outside of these 2 things here, trying to purchase a home or secure funding, I never recommend you paying for a collection, because again, it still has the same negative effect, and there's really no benefit at all in you paying a collection. So it's very important to keep in mind that this first strategy of paying a collection is definitely a no-no. All right. Which now goes into the most popular strategy, which is, should you actually settle a collection? All right. And of course, I strongly recommend this option right here for majority of individuals, because most people falls into this category here. Only you definitely want to do this only if you come to an agreement with the debt collection company that you're going to settle this collection in return for them removing the collection off of your credit report. Now, remember what I'm telling you here. this is an agreement that you're going to settle and pay this collection only in return they remove it from your credit report, okay? Not to update it from unpaid to paid, not to have it still reporting on your credit, as again, that is not going to help you at all. What you want to do is you want to go ahead and have a pay for deletion agreement with the debt collection company. Now, of course, here's the caveat here. When you're entering this agreement, you do have to realize these debt collection companies, these are companies that purchase the debt from the creditor for typically pennies on the dollar here. Okay. So you never want to pay full price for the debt. And you also want to negotiate the lowest possible that you can in repaying this debt for the deletion. The first thing you want to do is make sure that, number one, you negotiate the lowest possible amount in getting this collection removed off your credit report. Typically 60 to 50% off of the original amount is the sweet spot, and also a pay for deletion. You're going to only pay for this debt if they agree to remove it off of your credit report as well too. But it's very important to understand that you get this in writing, because again, you can't trust these debt collection companies. A lot of them are just fly by night telemarketing agencies. And again, you want to make sure that they're operating ethically and they have this in writing in the event that they renege on their promise, that again, you have it in writing that you'll be able to go ahead and go after them in the long run. All right. That is the most popular strategy where I recommend you settling a collection. Or another route where this is the most beneficial route, only if you fall into certain one of these options here, is ignoring the collection. Okay. Now, ignoring the collection can have a very harmful impact if this debt is legally yours, because guess what? It's going to remain on your credit report for 7 years. But guess what? If there's any way that this debt is not enforceable or is past the statute of limitations, I would go ahead and recommend you to totally ignore the debt. Why? Because if it's past the statute of limitations, of course, they cannot legally pursue or collect on this debt from you. All right. Now, the best way to check is to go on your state's website, or you can just simply go on ChatGPT and put in the state that you're in and see what is the state statute of limitation for any debt within your particular state. Typically, the statute of limitation ranges anywhere from 3 to 5 years, depending on what state that you're in. But once you have identified the time limit of the debt, then you want to go ahead and check the credit report and see how long this debt has been reporting on your credit report. And if it's beyond the statute of limitations, again, listen, I would just go ahead and send a dispute letter directly to the credit bureaus and have them remove this debt off of your credit report. Also let the debt collection agency know that, hey, this debt is passing the statute of limitations. Remove this debt off my credit report, or I'm going to go ahead and sue you for violation of the Fair Debt Collection Practice Act and the Fair Credit Reporting Act. Okay. Also, this is very important. If there's a debt collection company that's attempting to collect a debt from you, you definitely want to make sure that they're even able to collect the debt beyond the statute of limitations. All right. Check if they're licensed within your state and if they're even authorized to do. A lot of debt collection companies, believe it or not, they are just fly-by-night companies out there, and they may not have the proper licensure or the credentials to be able to go ahead and operate as a debt collection agency within your state. So you want to make sure that this debt collection agency even has the right to even collect the debt, which if they're unable to do, they are even in bigger trouble. And guess what? Not only can you get this debt removed off your credit report at no cost, but you can actually collect damages from the debt collection company for even violating the law in the first place too. So this is one of the few options I would recommend to ignore a collection if it falls in any one of these small categories here. But guess what? These categories are becoming a lot more common nowadays, as again, a lot of debt collection companies are not operating in good faith and they're violating the Fair Debt Collection Practice Act. So this gives you an opportunity to be able to go ahead and get this debt removed off of you. credit report, as well as collect on damages as well too. All right. So now that we have went ahead and gone over the 3 ways on how you can deal with the collection, I'm going to share with you a step-by-step blueprint on how you can execute on dealing with any negative collection on your credit report as well too. All right. Now, the very important that number one, that you're very diligent and you put yourself in a proper mindset when you're dealing with the collection. All right. Dealing with the collection is not the best thing possible. I know it can be stressful, raise your anxiety and everything, but guess what? It's not the end of the world. Don't stress it out. Put a game plan together and you can be able to go ahead and overcome this and have it removed off your credit report little to no time. All right. So the first thing you want to do is make sure you check your credit report. Okay. Now you can get access to your credit report at the website such as annualcreditreport.com, which is a free website that's owned by the 3 major credit reporting agencies that allows you access to a free copy of your credit report once per week. You won't have access to your scores though, despite what anybody may mislead you about. But this will give you a clear-cut picture to have your 3 bureau report. So you'll be able to go ahead and put them side by side and compare the information on each one of the 3 major credit bureaus of Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion. All right. Now, once you've pulled your credit report, then you want to go ahead and identify any type of collection that's reporting on your credit report. Okay. Now, list all of the collections that's reporting on there, whether it's a car loan, a credit card, or medical debt. Make sure that this debt is reporting accurately. Okay. Now, you want to check across all 3 bureaus. You want to look for any errors. If there's anything that's out of place, remember, under the Fair Credit Reporting Act, everything on your credit report must be complete as well as accurate. So if you see any inaccuracies on any collections or any account that's reported on your credit report, this gives you the ammunition as well as the tools to be able to go ahead and put the proper dispute and challenge to get this item removed off of your credit report. Once you have identified the debt and verified its accuracy, the next step would be sending a debt validation letter directly to the debt collection company. All right. Now, a debt validation letter basically is you are asking the debt collection company to prove that this debt actually belongs to you and the amount that they're saying that you owe is the accurate amount as well. Debt collection companies and creditors have a tendency to pile on extra fees, unnecessary fees, and everything like that. So it's very important before you even engage with any debt collection companies or attempt to deal with the debt that you send a debt validation letter or they actually prove that this debt is yours. And within the debt validation letter, you want to make sure that you include that they provide you the name of the original creditor, the amount that's owed, as well as you have the right to dispute this debt within 30 days. Okay. Now, of course, this right here will go ahead and put the ball in your court and give you the leverage and have forcing the debt collection company to be able to provide you this information. Because guess what? A lot of times you'll be surprised. A lot of debt collection companies purchase debts from another debt collection company. It may pass through 2, 3, 4, 5 debt collection companies. And guess what? Throughout that period, paperwork as well as documentation do get lost and do get misplaced, and they may not even be able to provide this information, which if they're unable to do, guess what? They have to remove the debt off of your credit report. So it's very important that before you even enter any one of these strategies, that they provide you the evidence that they're able to even go ahead and push forward with this. Now, in the event that you send a debt validation letter and they provide you the information that you're requesting, then it's time to execute one of the strategies that I mentioned above. But before you do, you want to go ahead and freeze your secondary bureaus such as LexisNexis, SageStream, as well as Innovis, because of course, number one, you don't want to give any debt collection or third-party agency access to these bureaus as you're challenging these debts as well too, because of course they have 30 to 45 days to be able to go ahead and verify this debt. And if they're unable to do, the credit reporting agencies must get this debt removed off of your credit report. All right. Now, before we wrap up, there's one important law that I definitely want to share with everybody that you need to be aware of, which is the Fair Debt Collection Practice Act. Now, this is the primary federal law that governs how debt collection companies must abide by, as well as this is the law that's being enforced by the FTC and the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. Okay. Now, this applies to all third-party debt collectors, not original creditors, but this mandates that debt collectors, they cannot be harassing you, threatening you, or using any type of abusive language when they're trying to attempt a debt. They cannot call you beyond certain periods of time. They can't call you before 8 a.m. or beyond 9 p.m., depending on the time zone that you're in. They cannot contact you at work or misrepresent themselves or the debt that they're trying to collect, such as exaggerating the amount or anything like that. So it's very important to understand that you understand your rights and you understand the Fair Debt Collection Practice Act, because in the event any one of these debt collection companies fall out of bounds or to get beside themselves trying to go ahead and collect the debt and they're doing any one of these unethical tactics, guess what? You should be able to not only get this debt removed, but that's a violation of the law, which ultimately you can be able to go ahead and pursue legal action against them as well too. All right. Now remember, you can't sue a debt collector for any fair debt collection practice violation within 1 year of the violation. So keep that in mind. In the event that they're doing any one of these things, you have up to 1 year to be able to pursue legal action against them. Okay. But other than that, listen, you definitely want to go ahead and do whatever it takes to maintain a strong, healthy credit profile as well as a credit report. You can do so by making sure that, again, you're monitoring your credit report. You could also do things such as opening up a secured credit card. If you're having problems being able to go ahead and get approved for a credit card, these are a great way for you to be able to go ahead and build your credit by being able to go ahead and open up a secured card, which, you know, that a secured card is a card that you would put up the security deposit and your credit line would equal the security deposit that you put. Keep your utilization low. All right. 30% is typically the threshold, but guess what? Nowadays, lenders don't want to see you beyond 20%. I recommend you staying below 10%. So keeping a low utilization is another way to go ahead and maintain an optimal score, and also making sure that you're making your on-time payments. On-time payments account for 35% of your credit score, so it's very important that you staying on top of your payments, all right? But there it is. Listen, I've went ahead and shared with you the 3 strategies on how to be able to go ahead and deal with the collection of 2025. Make sure that, again, guys, make sure that you're super diligent, that you don't fall into any of the pitfalls that these debt collection companies may put you in. Don't be worried. Listen, just make sure that you execute your plan and follow through your plan, and you'll be able to go ahead and deal with any collections that may be on your credit report. All right. Listen, if you was able to get great value from this video, do me a huge favor. Drop a comment down below. If you need help in dealing with the collection, if you're someone that has a collection and if you've been fighting it or you don't know how to get it removed off your credit report, check out the Blueprint Movement Academy, where we're being able to go ahead and get awesome results for our members and being able to get collections removed off their credit report, charge-offs, bankruptcies, repossessions. And not only we've been able to do it, but we've been able to go ahead and help our members get access up to $50,000 in funding in little old time by being able to repair, build, and leverage their credit. All right. So you can check out the Blueprint Academy by hitting the description. It is in the link is in the description down below. But other than that, hit the subscribe button if you want to catch great content like this, as well as hit the like button so we can keep dropping great content like this. And as always, we're going to catch you on the flip side. Peace.
This conversation about building up your blueprint. It's time to take it, cause time is wasted. Go grind and chase it, don't lose it. This generation need integration with information to move with. An inclination that is abiding and entertaining improvement. Yep, West Pole with Blueprint. His guests are exclusive. Get on and tune in and then learn some new tips about credit, finance, investment. A nice chance to get rich and buy land. Flip it, quick 9 bands. Learn all the skills from Wes, he did it. Learn how to build successful business. Run up a mill and get the digits. Run up a mill. Look, safe place where guests are speaking. Based off financial freedom. All facts, no cap, believe it. Podcast, you have to see it.